Hola mundo, hello world. I'm Ashua Nicole, and I just wanted to have a quick little chat about 5 things that I wanted to share at this particular point in time. It's August 2020, and it has been an unbelievable flurry of intense events throughout the year so far, and we still have a few months to go. We also have time before the election, and I'm sure things are just going to continue to become more and more eventful between now and then. So I've given this a little bit of thought and having a whole lot of conversation with people about what can we do about this. Well, first of all, not any one of us is going to change the world today, but you can change your world. And there are things that you can do and ways that you can focus to immediately and directly influence your experience of what's happening now. So 5 things, not 10, 5 things to keep in mind for 2020 or for August of 2020. If you were to just apply it this month, it would make a huge difference. We've got 21 days left in the month. First of all, it's going to be okay. We didn't come all this way to start devolving now. I know it's a little tough to discern that sometimes. It certainly feels like things are moving backwards as far as the evolution of humanity in this moment. But I can assure you that's not where we'll land. We're just, you know how if you're driving a stick shift and you release the brake and the car slides back rolls back just a little bit before you hit the accelerator, or you switch gears. That's exactly what's happening. It's just a little bit of a backtrack. I love how Cryan says, whenever evolutionary events happen or change occurs, they don't say evolutionary, those are my words, but whenever change occurs, it always feels like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And we're in the step back right now. But things are going to really leap forward when we're ready and we get to that point where everything kind of switches gears and we kick back into our forward motion. Although this is just a feeling, it's an illusion, it's just how it all appears at the moment. We have to continue to remind ourselves that everything is still moving along. I always say evolution is a one-way street. We don't go backwards. So this is what it feels like. It may be a little uncomfortable for a bit longer, but it's going to be okay. It has to be okay. At some point, eventually, we won't be in this moment. We won't be in this experience. Number 2, remember your point of power. You always have one. There's always some way to have access to it. There's always opportunity for us to remind ourselves that A, we create our own realities. B, that we always have a choice. If you're experiencing something that you really don't like or you really don't want, you always have access to another version of it. It's just a matter of how quickly are you willing to put your attention there as opposed to in the part of the story or the version of the story that you don't necessarily want to experience. Focus on what you want and do whatever you can to take action in the direction of what you prefer. Improvement is always worth the journey to get to it. Number 3, what's next for you? Again, you create your own reality and you're the master of the experience you're having in the world. So this has been a year of lots of opportunity and invitation to reflect on where we are, how we got there, what we can do next. But Even if you've taken some steps in that direction, now is a good time to reassess that right here, right now. Okay, what else would I like to be doing? Where else might I like to live? What else would I like to be pursuing? How else would I like my life to be? Is there anything I can do about that? Is there a step I can take? Is there something I can do to prepare from where I am now to where I want to be? Take those steps, do the research, do the homework, do the pondering. Maybe you just need to think about it. Maybe you haven't been feeling very creative or like you want to take much initiative. It's still a good time to do that. It's still a good time to get engaged. It's still a good time to get interested in other things, or at least inquiring about other things that may be of interest to you. Maybe you just haven't encountered it yet, but now's a good time to start asking those questions, to start getting online or researching some options. You don't run out of opportunities to do that. It's always a good time to reinvent the self. Number 4 is nurture your passions. If you already know what excites you, if you already know what that is, what are you doing to engage that, to explore, to further it, to enhance it, to grow it? You know, are you doing anything to expand yourself? Even if just reading the last book that you ordered on Amazon, maybe that's your highest excitement. Whatever it is, your job is to essentially revisit the formula relative to this. What formula am I talking about? I'm talking about the formula that Bashar talks about. Acting on your highest excitement as fully as you can to the extent that you can no longer take action. That's really, really important. Acting on your excitement. Are you excited about it? I was excited to share a message, so I decided to do a video today. That was my highest excitement. It's been a while. I've been thinking about videos for a while. I've been having lots and lots of great conversations. Everything didn't necessarily warrant a video, but today I was like, I think I might have something to say. So let me just re-engage this and then get started up, and some momentum will be built as a result of this one. I already know this, and I'm good with that. The second part of the formula is do so with absolutely no attachment to an outcome. Don't go in thinking, oh, if I do this thing, this other thing has to occur. Absolutely not. My job was just to make the video. I'm not going to sit here and obsess about who's going to see it, how long it's going to be out there, how many views is it going to get. Who freaking cares? Just do it. Get the message out there. The fact that I even wanted to do it meant that someone may have needed to hear this message right now. It means that someone may find it 20 years from now. Well, hopefully not 20 years from now, but 10 days from now. Who knows? It doesn't matter. That's not even my business. My job is to act on my passion and my excitement right now to the extent that I can with absolutely no attachment to an outcome. This is the main event right here, right now, talking to you. Thank you for listening, by the way. The third part of the formula is maintain a positive outlook throughout the activity, throughout the pursuit, throughout the journey along your excitement path. Follow your passion with no expectation of an outcome and maintaining a positive outlook the whole time. I only expect the best to come. I only expect good things to happen as a result of me sharing these messages. I only expect that everything is always working out for me. I don't need to know the details of how that happens or where it all comes from. I know that in my personal life, things continue to work out for me. Even when, they don't always look the way I would have preferred them to look, it's still stacking up in my favor, both aggregately and incrementally. The little things are still going my way, and then the big things continue to go my way. So it's all good. My job is just to stay on task and to continue to follow my excitement and do what feels fun and good and interesting for me at any given moment. And number 5 that I wanted to talk about today was engage your imagination. I think so many times we are stuck with what we've seen before us or what we have created in the past, and we limit our options to just the known, just things that we think make sense or that were expectations that were passed down to us or things that we can see on television or advertised. How often, or when was the last time, if ever, that you've engaged your imagination to think beyond the known, to think beyond what you think you are even aware of? Do you stretch your own imagination? I'm a huge lover of sci-fi. Love it, love it, love it. I love the stories. I love the imagery. I love the ideas. I love the imagination that goes into it. I love going to a movie or sitting here, of course, because I can't go to the movies, although I really look forward to the day when we can get back to the movie theater. That's just going to be awesome. Surround sound is my best friend. I love the idea of seeing things that I've never seen before, thinking thoughts that I've never thought before, coming into contact with dialogue and situations and ideas that I never imagined. I love being opened up in that way. I love having my own boundaries stretched in that way. And then I love kind of like virtual shopping. Like, I really like this idea of, being able to just travel whenever we want and not necessarily, I love the idea of being beamed up. Not that I'm a huge Trekkie. I was definitely a Star Wars kind of chick, but I love the idea of just being transportable, just energetically from one place in one moment to another place in another moment in time and space. I love that idea. I love so many other things. I love that there are so many shows right now that are exploring interdimensionality, that they're exploring time travel, they're exploring all kinds of cool things. I just watched season 2 of The Umbrella Academy. I love that show. It showed me things and gave me perspectives that I hadn't seen before. I love it when it's new and it's fresh and it's a different twist on different things. That is so much fun to me. I love having my imagination engaged. I love sitting up and thinking of things that haven't been done before, that haven't been thought of before. Like, wouldn't it be so cool if we could XYZ? And I might write some things down or make some notes. That's also what led to me creating my Jumpstart Your Genius workshop series. It's a fantastic way. I came across this idea because I found myself having recurring conversations with people over a point of time, and I realized, wait a minute, I might be onto something here, because I'm helping people understand how your genius really isn't about something that you do, it's about what you're being. That's the genius, that's the magic that you're bringing to the table. Lots of people can learn to play an instrument, but not everybody can be a master musician because everybody doesn't bring the same beingness to that activity, if that makes sense. So what makes a good teacher is not necessarily the same thing as what makes a good astronaut. And it doesn't have a lot to do with the skills so much as it has what they were being before they even showed up to learn those skills. Because whatever they're being is what informs their propensity to be able to apply those skills. And then they can apply those same skills and that same beingness across many, many different things. So I may do a whole video on just that. I'd love to talk more about that, but having a lot of fun with that. Where do you want to be in the future? And when we say future, it could be a year from now, although I really, really hope that a year from now looks totally different than it does right now. I really hope we're all having a much more improved experience from where we sit in this particular moment. The question is, what steps can we take now to get us there? Like going to vote and voting your interests. That's one thing you can definitely do. It's an important thing you can do. What else do you need to take? What, it's so funny to me. I keep thinking about right now, there's all these people who can't travel like myself. We're not traveling much. You're maybe going to a neighboring suburb or something, but we can't travel in the way that we're normally traveling. So we're just going to be on all kinds of lovely missions when we get out of this purgatory we're in, so that we can explore the world. And what is it that I can do now to prepare myself for that? Maybe I can research some new places I might want to explore around the planet. Maybe there's a new language I want to learn. Maybe there's a new culture. Maybe I can, there's all kinds of little things that you can do to prepare for whatever you feel is in your future, is coming up next. And now's a good time to set some new sights on things, to maybe stretch the possibilities that you once thought were available, and now you can broaden your horizon about, maybe there's some more stuff I can check out. Maybe there's some more interests that I can investigate. Life can get really, really fun and interesting, and you don't have to wait for it all to happen then. You can start taking steps now to prepare for where you're going to be within a year or so, or 2 years. Maybe it's 5 years. Who knows? Whatever you feel like your future might be, or where you'd like to be from where you are now, start taking steps in your present moment, in your present experience, to prepare in some way for that future version of yourself. And then how can you demonstrate the reality that you really prefer now? There's lots of opportunity for that right now, because there's so much going on that we don't prefer in life right now. Can we be nicer to one another? Can we be a little more respectful of how we speak about and to others? Can we be more informed about other people's perspectives? Can we take more time and be more mindful as we're moving around? It's so funny. I go out now to run an errand or something, and people are driving like they're nuts. Now, I live in Chicago. They're always driving a little crazy in Chicago, but it seems like it's extra pointless these days, because all I keep thinking is, where are you going? I love my car. I'm not a just drive the speed limit kind of person. I have a high performance vehicle. I like to make sure it gets a good run sometimes. But I'm never driving so recklessly, weaving in and out of traffic like I've seen some people doing. And I don't know if they're just excited to be in their cars, or if they're really rushing off to somewhere, because I can't imagine that many people have such urgent appointments at this point, when we have such limited access to things that you would need an appointment for to begin with, which is hilarious. But it's just really kind of funny that, people are engaging in more threatening behavior, or more risky behavior. I won't say it's necessarily threatening, but more risky behavior, as a result of being more mindful of their movement and more aware that they are moving and they have to be in the vicinity and areas with other people. We all share this world. How can we be better stewards of that sharing behavior? How can we create new aspects, new levels of culture, and new culture actually, of sharing and being mindful and self-aware that we do have to make way for others to enjoy their experience as well, or be more accommodating for others to enjoy their experience as well. We don't necessarily have to be in the way. I'm not saying we have to bend over backwards for people or things like that. I'm just saying things as simple as wearing a mask, because you're not only contributing to your own well-being, but you're contributing to the well-being of others when you do so. And it's really just a benevolent thing to do. How can you demonstrate the reality you prefer? That goes a long way right now. Little things count. Picking up trash, you know, not lingering too long where you don't need to be. Things like that. Picking up the phone, making a call. No one can see you smile, so I can't say walking down the street smiling at folks, but you can say hello. I'm getting greeted a lot, which is great. I think because we can only view eyes more frequently than not, that it's easier to be more expressive about it. So I'm appreciating that. Certainly it feels more interesting. It's tough that we can't be more physically engaged like we may have been used to being, like hugging when we see people that we know, or fist bumping or whatever, with the social distancing that's going on. But do what you can from where you are with, you know, any ability that you have to engage. And just remember that this isn't forever. This moment is passing like every other. You know, a month ago we were dealing with other stuff, and a month before that it was something else that was the main event, and a month before that it was something else that was the main event. And in a week from now it's going to be a whole new host of things that take up space in our minds and in our daily conversations about what the main event is. But every single day, the main event is being here now. Take stock. Breathe deeply. Keep expecting that things have got to get better. And they will. For all of us. On some level. In some way. It's going to be fine. This too shall pass. It's not forever. We didn't come here to miss the show. And we didn't come here to be defeated by the show. So, I think that's all for now. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your journey, or evening, or day, or night, or whatever it is from this point forward till the next video. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.